Well, I knew this day was coming eventually, and I didn't want to admit it to myself, but I knew it was coming. I just got to deal with the realities of it. If you don't know, my wife and I, Jess, we live off-grid in the Arizona desert, and we are trying to make it solely on rainwater. Now, getting things set up, we had to have water deliveries. So our first year out here, we got water deliveries. Now for, I'd say, a year and a half after that, maybe even a little longer, we've been able to make it on rainwater, and it has been amazing. I love it. But now that water is getting low, really low. We definitely still have water left, maybe 800 or so gallons between the two tanks. How we work our water right now is that we just gravity feed it through a hose to a pump, and then we pump it into our trailer. Actually, when the two poly tanks are full, we can even gravity feed it into the trailer, no problem. Lately, when it gets to a certain level, then we got to use the pump, and now we're getting low. Just with the two poly tanks, we might have been able to make it even to the next monsoon season. But several things that we've done kind of depleted our water a lot quicker than maybe it needed to. So one is the roof of our cistern. We chose to go with ferro cement for that. That used up a lot of water, a scary amount of water. And then we ended up doing the ferro cement gutters, which again, I'm gonna take the hit on. That also used up a lot of water. And in between then, it's all the buildings that we've been doing. And the cistern, the two underground portions of our house, and now the dome. Considering that not only have we been using this rainwater to live on, but we've also been using it for all this building going on, I can't believe it's lasted this long. But what can I say? Our luck has run out, so has our water, and we're gonna need a water delivery soon. So that's what I got going on. I gotta prep for this delivery. You know, the thing is that we built a large cistern right in front of the poly tank, so it's gonna be a little bit more difficult for this guy to get in here and get this done. But we've also got a couple other things. I gotta get this pile of rocks moved, give that guy a little bit more space. And then we've also got this trench back here. There's not a whole lot more to backfill, but I got to get the rest of this backfilled. Again, just give that guy as much clearance as possible. I want him to be able to just kind of get in, fill up the tanks, and get out. We don't get charged for the water, but we get charged for the time it takes for them to get from the facility over here and then back again. So as quick as I can facilitate that, the better for us. We also got a couple of small mounds of dirt over here next to the cistern. Not a huge deal. I'm pretty sure that guy could just roll right on over. But this is still usable stuff. I can still like dig this up and use it for other places. Backfill in the trench, for instance. So that's what I'm going to do before he really crushes it down. Get some of this moved, and a lot of things going on in between the build. So another thing I want to do is cut these pipes. Right now I got it going right along the ground. Not too far out, but I figure I'll just cut them right now. That way it'll give the guy a little extra space. And I think when I put the pipes back in, I think I'm going to have them buried underground to wherever they're going to go. I don't think we'll need overflow for a while, so I think I got time for that. I'm going to cut them and then leave them capped off for a while. Let me get another quick little peek inside there just to verify our water level, see where we're at. So to me it looks like we're right around this level, probably between 400 to 600 gallons. So we might have about 1,000 in here between both of these tanks. But I know that, we gravity feed water from here over to the pump, and then we pump it into the trailer. And I know just by gravity feeding, that goes really, really slow. We're probably, with the pump, we're probably only still getting like maybe about a half a gallon a minute. We're definitely not out of water, but we're gonna need some more soon. I know a lot of people have had questions about how much water we have in the cistern. I try not to go up here and look into the cistern too much. I just don't like to open it up. I just like to let it be. But let's find out how much is in there. It's actually almost coating the entire floor of water, but still not at the level to reach the pipe, but it's getting there. Check it out. That is one filled in looking trench. Beautiful. All right, now I'm gonna work with Jess. We're gonna get this rock pile moved. Take maybe a few minutes. You ready to get this done? She's awesome, always willing to help. I love you. Look at that balance. It's amazing the amount of rocks we have in our soil. I mean, this pile here maybe it looks like a lot, maybe it doesn't look like much to you. But I mean, it was probably, what do you think, 2 to 3 times this size when you started moving it? So there's that. Plus there's like this whole other rock pile that I started when digging out those 2 little mounds. So, I mean, there are an absolute ton of rocks out here. I don't wanna mix up the 2 piles. I've got the unorganized rocks and the organized rocks. All right, mission accomplished. It's looking pretty good, Jess. What do you think? Are you dusting the ground? Jess is even dusting the dirt. There's a little low spot here where that trench is. I think I'm gonna just move a little bit of dirt in there, but otherwise I think we're pretty good. And I think we're gonna end up maybe starting a course tomorrow. What do you think?
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, so back out here. We're ready to get started building again. We still gotta do barbed wire. Probably should have knocked that out yesterday. I didn't think about that, but well, what are you gonna do? We're gonna have to get that done this morning. I'm gonna get these cleats in place. Then Jess can get out here. She can start with the barbed wire. Whew. Today's gonna be a busy day, and we're getting that water delivery at some point today, so we gotta get moving. So I got the barbed wire cart all ready to go, ready to apply the barbed wire. Jess is gonna be working on that. I might go in here to help her, but I'm gonna get things ready. I'm gonna start getting some dirt ready, start getting the bags ready. So much to do. First bag, course number 6. You ready to knock this out, girl? Alright, I'm gonna keep things low key and sedate. Jess maybe isn't feeling 100% out here, but she's out here anyway. So I'm gonna do my part, not to annoy her too much. Man, I felt violated.
Violated?
Yeah,
Why?
with that water delivery.
What happened?
I was just thinking, man, we would have plenty of room, or a decent amount of room for that truck to get in. But just seeing that truck again, it is so big and so heavy. So that truck had a very tough time getting in. Luckily, that driver is as skilled as he is, and he was able to get over there. But man, it was not a good time to be needing a water delivery since we have so much going on here with the build.
I think we were hoping that we wouldn't need that. I mean, after we got that big cistern built.
Well, our water problems are done, right? With that huge cistern? Nope. We're still relying on the water from the poly tanks, so that's kind of where we need the water right now. We do have a little bit in the cistern, but not enough to really kind of draw from. So I know some of you might be wondering why we didn't have the guy just pump the water into the cistern. That's a really good question. Right now, that pipe from the cistern runs into the root cellar, and that's completely sealed off, and we're not looking to kind of unseal it right now. So the cistern is really designed not for use for right now, but for future use for our home. That's what we have the plumbing set up for. That's when we'll be able to get the water when we're ready to open up the root cellar and have water go through that line. We're still using the poly tanks as really our main source of water while we're living in the trailer, because that's kind of what we have the poly tank set up for right now. Ease of use in the trailer. Oh man, we just had that water delivery. I tell you, that was a little bit of an intermission there. Slowed us down a bit, but we needed it, so. Woo! I'm glad I put a lot of dirt in that trench, man. That really, that truck really packed that dirt down, didn't it?
Yeah. Good thing we cleared this entire area, because it looks like he needed that whole space.
He needed that whole space, yeah, for sure. It was tight. It was tight. We thought we had a decent amount of room, and he needed all the space he could get.
Big truck.
It's a big, heavy truck. But hopefully we won't need that again. We'll talk a little bit more about this later. Hopefully we won't need any more. You ready? You ready to get back to it?
Yeah, I need more chicken wire.
Need more chicken wire. I got some right there. I anticipated your chicken wire needs.
Thanks.
We're back at it. We're gonna knock this out. We're gonna knock it out. This course has been a tough one. A lot of things standing in our way, but we shall overcome. We're gonna get over it. Jess has got a little block here that she's been using to kind of stand on so she can kind of dump dirt in the bag. It's a little tougher to reach so far up overhead. It's not super cold, but the clouds, it's a cloudy day, so without that sun, it cools down real quick. Did he need to go for a walk? I guess we'll just take a crew for a stroll around the property just to get some little bit of that exercise. I'll be prepping dirt. Well, welcome back. You took crew on quite the walk, huh? I heard it was a grand adventure.
It was.
Probably went all around this great state, through Hobbiton, battled dragons. We didn't get any of that on film. But you get the grand adventure of watching us complete course number 6. I can't think of anything more grand than that. How are you feeling today? Yesterday you weren't feeling it, I don't think. Sky was cloudy. I think you had a lot of low energy.
Yep. Well, it's not cloudy now.
Do you feel it? Are you getting the power from the sun?
Yes.
Yeah.
And took that long walk with the crew, got my blood pumping.
Oh yeah, that helps. Get the blood moving during the day. You know how I get the blood moving?
By doing that.
You would think, but shoveling. That's how I do it. Got plenty of dirt for you. You ready to get this done?
Yep.
So you got a little souvenir. I see you got a couple of souvenirs from your travels. Dirt in the boots?
Well, there's always that.
What else did you get? So tell me about your grand adventure.
We walked down the road. We found a dirty napkin with a mysterious orange liquid on it. That was very exciting.
Ugh.
We crossed the cattle guard We jogged for a while. Had a poop. Well, crew had a poop.
Thank you for breaking that one down.
And I found this.
Uh-oh. I was about to ask what that is, but you'd probably say something like it's a feather.
It is a feather. I don't know.
Do you know what kind of bird that came from?
I do know what kind of bird. Does anyone else know?
Oh, do you know what it is? If you recognize that feather, leave that down below.
It's from a bird that is common around here in Arizona. It's a black feather. It's really pretty because it has this iridescence to it and a white tip on it, and it's quite long, about 9 to 10 inches long. So we see these birds around here often, but it's kind of cool finding their feathers sometimes.
Cool find. Wow. So many cool adventures when I'm not around. The past monsoon season was barely any. This winter was really dry.
I think it was kind of the perfect storm of no storms.
Plus, I mean, we've been working on projects that, the ferro cement projects, the roof of the cistern, the gutters that I'm tearing down right now, all the Earthbag projects. It's been taking up a lot of water.
Yeah, I mean, if you look back at our old videos from, 2019? That monsoon season was kind of crazy.
It was ruckus.
We got a lot of big storms, and our tanks, at that time we just had the 2 poly tanks, and they were overflowing like over and over again.
It was sick. It was sickening watching it.
Unfortunately, our timing was a little off with the building the cistern. We couldn't have had that built at that time. But if we had, I feel like we could have made it through this dry period.
Oh yeah. It's tough to say if we weren't building out here, how long that water might have lasted us. But I mean, our water needs right now are so low. And those poly tanks have lasted us for such a long time. With so many projects, so little rainfall, I think it's actually impressive how long we have lasted.
I think it goes to show, like, with proper planning, it's totally doable to live off of rainwater. But in an arid climate, you definitely need to plan ahead for the dry periods of time, because you don't know, like, some years could be wet, some years could be very dry. So You need enough water to get you through those periods of drought.
But I mean, this is just the beginning for us. I mean, we're gonna constantly be adding to our water storage, constantly be adding to our catchment. We're gonna be catching water off these domes. Just watch and see how that all comes together. And I know people are thinking, well, why not just put a well? Put a well, you get unlimited water. Well, it's not unlimited exactly. But the problem is you could put a ton of money into putting in a well, and there's no guarantee you'll even hit water. Whereas if over here, if we're doing water harvesting, we could constantly be building, adding on. Any of these structures that we're doing could have multiple uses. We can have water sources located on different areas of the property.
Not that we're against wells or anything.
We're against wells. No, absolutely not. Especially for home use, it's a great way to go. And I'm not saying we won't have a well at some point.
But I think rainwater harvesting makes more sense for us right now.
You can get a bunch of tanks right off the bat and have a bunch of water catchment. But if you don't have those resources right then, you got to build them up slowly. And yeah, you might miss rain opportunities.
Yeah, and that's kind of where we're at. Like, we're trying to build a lot of things ourselves, and that just takes time.
We could just live like we're living, and we would have been just fine. But because we keep pushing the envelope.
And we're planning ahead for the future too. We want to do more growing, and that's going to take more water too. So yeah, hopefully this is the last time we run out of water.
Jess is pushing me. She's like, when are you going to get those gutters back up? I'm going to get those gutters back up ASAP.
But definitely before the next monsoon.
Oh, we'll be ready to go before next monsoon season. Believe me, I will move heaven and earth to get that done before the next monsoon season. Well, I think it's totally doable to live off of rainwater. Like she said, just proper planning. Make sure you have enough storage to get you through those dry seasons. I think, like I said, I think we would have made it had we not been doing such intensive builds. The more storage and the more catchment you can get up front, the better.
We had to kind of weigh the costs of the infrastructure versus, like, okay, we got to get an emergency water delivery and that cost, which ended up being less. So
Yeah.
It's worth it the way we did it, I think.
I think so. And we might get some questions here about the water delivery, where we get our water from. We get our water delivery from a local company, Maddox & Sons, but disclaimer, this water that they bring is technically non-potable. But we run it through our Berkey. We have filters in place, so we've used it before and it has not been an issue. Course number 6 is done. I tell you, I wasn't sure how this would go. I mean, with that water delivery, I knew that was going to be a pain, but man, it was definitely a pain, and it really slowed us down yesterday, our progress. Then it was a cloudy day. I feel like you're really kind of solar powered, aren't you?
I think I am.
There's definitely a difference between yesterday, the cloudy day, super tired, just no energy, and then today I couldn't even keep up. I'm like, I'm the one shoveling dirt in here. Well, I guess that's the way it kind of should be. Like, shoveling the dirt takes a little bit longer than filling the bags. But you were just knocking it out. I could not keep up. So especially since this video is near and dear to our heart about rainwater harvesting, we just want to let people know that we are part of a WaterWise presentation.
The University of Arizona has an extension called the WaterWise program. So they deal with things like rainwater harvesting.
And we're going to be talking about rainwater harvesting and all about our cistern build, right? So we're very excited. We're honored to be able to participate. And if you're interested, check that out. That's coming up when?
February 17th.
Very soon. Mark that on your calendars. So the build continues. Course number 6 done. We're back on track with water. So if you're into rainwater, don't forget to hit that like button. Definitely subscribe so you don't miss a thing, and we will catch you on the next video.